No joke, the dots are olive trees or fig trees, and the green is all marijuana. The light green, all these light green fields you see, all this, it's all marijuana. All of this, all of this, all of this. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hectares in one valley only. Here we have the micro camera for the car. The setup is battery pack. This one we can hide somewhere down there. And this one gives us 8 full hours, plus we can back it up from the lighter plug of the car. So we are basically safe on the power supply. This is connected to the recorder and screen. These 2 units go hidden down. And then somewhere we have to come out with the real cam and mics. Yeah. And this is our inside the car camera that can really get the roadblocks, the cops talking to us, everything that happens in the old car. So it should be somewhere high. The car preparation was very exciting because it was the first time that we prepared the car to really for the purpose of a specific mission, a strain hunter mission. Beautiful. It works really good. We have the technology to overpower controls.
We're gonna film the police.
And then we see who's checking who. So we don't rely on a car that we find in location, but we prepare it ourselves. It's a very nice Land Rover, and we put a lot of effort in it, a lot of time, and the result is pretty impressive. Can you recognize it?
No, it's perfect.
Ah! It's really beautiful.
So here we can throw the stuff in, or extra people if we have to go through. Yeah?
Yeah. Extra light on the top. This is seriously solid gear on top. We can load up 2 tons if you want.
2 tons on the top?
Theoretical vertical load. Of course you can't drive around with 2 tons, but if you put 2 tons there, it won't crash the car. We hired the suspensions. We put in really new shock absorbers. We have new bumpers front and back. We have a really nice cage on the top of the car, aluminum high resistant cage. And we have a really nice tow gear at the front of the car, so if we get stuck we can get ourselves out of trouble. And we have a serious protection plate down here. Yeah, nice. And we have here we can put this bad boy in free spooling, and then you can just
remember how many times we needed this one in Africa, we didn't have it?
Now we have it.
Spent a day or 2 packing, luckily in Amsterdam. Luckily a whole lot of the preparation had been done before. So we had this fantastic truck to pack and packed all the equipment.
We are properly organized. The car is definitely tip-top ready for Africa.
Train hunters trip to Morocco. We're going to leave today, Saturday. Going to drive all the way to Malaga, then to the south of Spain. Take the boat and arrive in Tangier, and then go into the Rift Mountains, all the way up to Ketama. And then even after Ketama, where the original Moroccan land races go. A very exciting trip, especially for us here in Holland. We have been buying a lot of Moroccan stuff for many places here in Holland. It's a famous product. Until the early 90s, 80% of what was sold in Dutch coffee shops was Moroccan hash, and only 10% came from Afghanistan, and the other 10% was imported marijuana from the Caribbean, like Jamaica or West Africa, Nigeria. Early 90s, because of the liberal situation in Holland, the whole system has changed. People were encouraged to grow marijuana indoors in Holland. And now 80% of the stuff that's sold in coffee shops in Holland is Dutch grown. Until like a year ago. Now also this again is changing because there's a lot of import marijuana coming from other countries in Europe towards Holland, because Holland is getting more difficult to grow, so it's coming from other countries now also.
From Amsterdam we're gonna head south, direction Paris, and from there direction Spain. We're gonna cross the border near Barcelona, Girona, and then down, heading down south along the Spanish coast, all the way down to Malaga, Algeciras. Okay, gracias.
We drive like 3,000 k's through Europe.
It's a long trip. It's a boring trip in a way to reach the destination, but we have to get the car down there somehow. When we reach Algeciras, it's only 45 minutes on the boat to cross the strait. It's a very quick ride. It's gonna be a very long story to cross the border into Morocco, because it's summertime and it's quite a busy holiday period there. A lot of Moroccan people that are living in Europe go back to see their families this time of the year, so it's gonna be extremely busy.
Can't be so difficult, no?
Spain, man. You can make it as difficult as you want. They're doing 17 things at the same time, you know? They're not just doing our tickets.
Ellos no vuelven.
No, yo vuelvo el coche.
Coche.
Okay.
Os cortan esto te lo quedas tú.
Ok,
¿Vale?
está bien.
No lo pierdas.
Está
No se
bien,
lo des a
está
nadie
bien.
que no vuelve.
Está bien.
¿Vale?
Ok.
Detrás del Renault.
Sí.
Y esperamos, ¿vale?
Muy bien.
What you say?
Do not lose this, otherwise the car. Hopefully we're gonna be able to arrive at our first destination around 10, 11, midnight in the night of the first day of crossing the strait. And then you are in Ceuta. Ceuta, it's a very special city. It's a Spanish colony in African territory, old city, and it's still part of the Spanish territory, still part of the European Community territory. And after that, we crossed the border into Morocco. That was quite an experience, actually.
We approached the customs. First we had the wrong customs. We were hassled by a few guys, of course. And then we approached the real customs. We had a micro camera on the car, and I had a micro camera here in my blouse. So you can see all the problems that we had there.
Oui, un peu.
Olifonsi?
Oui. Hey, merci.
T'han sellato il passaporto, t'han sellato la macchina, t'han sellato
tutto. Bello.
il resto.
Bella.
Prendo.
Bella. Bella.
Espera. Ahora que me da una mancha para mí, ya está.
4 euro ti ho dato
No,
per
per
te.
te, per
No,
capitano.
no, per te, non per capitano. Per capitando io mangio, personale. This was Spanish, now this comes in Moroccan. Pronto? Là, stiamo ancora in dogana, stiamo mettendoci un po' perché siamo in tanti con le carte e tutto. Ok. Bella, spettacolo, sei un grande. Ci vediamo. Rollamene una che sto impazzendo. Va bene, bella. Ciao. Appena usciamo da qua incontriamo il mio amico, è già lì che ci aspetta con 2 macchine.
Tu sei il proprietario del carro, sì?
No, carro di impresa. Passport, guys.
Typical things in Arab countries is they want money. You know this by the beginning, and that's why it takes a very, very long time to get through those customs. Anything they can find, whatever reason, they'll hassle you.
We had a few issues with a security agent, national security, and basically he was not very pleased with one of the features of our logo on the side of our car. Says we cannot go through with the map on the door drawn like that of Morocco because it doesn't correspond with the real map of Morocco.
Okay.
So we have to take out the border of the map.
Okay, we take it off.
Sta bien?
Ouais, tieni
Sta
che
bien.
quitarlo, eh?
We can keep Morocco expedition, but we have to take the map away.
Okay.
Only the line of Morocco.
Sta bien, no?
These guys are crazy.
At one point, the cops were still not satisfied with this. They decided to look into the car, they find the cameras and looked in our bills where it says cameraman and started to ask all kinds of questions about the mission and if we were professional and what we're going to do and the whole story.
La voiture? Là-bas, à lui. Roscam, lui.
Yeah, and that's the moment you realize that more things can go wrong or right. I've asked Franco to quickly bribe one of the guys on the border there, and we slipped to one of the immigration guys 20 euros, and in the end that helped us a lot, of course.
Vediamo di dargli una mancetta allo sbirro così ci fa andare via prima. Merci, merci bien. In a couple of hours we were off into Morocco and ready to meet my friend who guided us from there into the reef.
All countries in South Europe, they are like offended when their flag or something is not good. Eh?
These guys already busy 10 years there, working in very close cooperation with big families that produce hash for generations and generations in the reef, in the mountains of the reef. And I went there scouting for five times in the space of a year. We realized very soon, Aryan and I, that there was potential for two very important things. One, to find the real Moroccan landrace, and two, to shoot a very interesting strain hunters documentary.
Oh, siamo in montagna?
Sì, ditemi quando.
Tu sei pronto?
Hai già preparato tutto.
Bello, allora controlliamo le macchine, prendiamo la seconda macchina e andiamo. Ok.
We reached the border city of Dardara. The sun was setting. It was a beautiful time of the day. The hot air was cooling off a little bit, also because we were starting to get high on the mountains.
Did you see there is a green house in Morocco?
Look here. The reef.
The reef! We entered the reef valley where we reached Bab Taza, the village of Bab Taza, where we stopped for a little bit of food. And then we continued and we reached Bab Barret, where it was the first location where we had access to fantastic fields of Pakistani genetics mixed with local Moroccan land.
The strain hunters.
What an extension, eh?
Barbaret, 80 kilometers from Katama. Look, it's incredible, this valley. Eh? As far as you can look, you see pot. If you think about it, if you look like this, you see in France, you see these houses, chateaus with the wine. In Italy, you see the beautiful houses with the olive trees around. And here you see the beautiful houses with the marijuana around.
It's no different.
Yeah? And this is illegal. And the alcohol that every year kills 50,000 people in France is legal.
Absolutely amazing. All you could see was green. And at first I thought it was millies or something else. I couldn't actually get my head around it. And very, very quickly you realize how 70% of the world's production comes from such a small little place. It's like a little province of England, you know.
Look. Yeah, there we go, already in the indica. Look. Damn, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I saw that.
See that?
It's the whole history.
The whole history of Afghanistan, Pakistan. In the early 90s, they brought the seeds over here. And the more farther we go outside of Katama, the more Moroccan you have. But this area, it's all Pakistan, and it's all mixed.
The first field that we visited was very mixed genetics.
There you can see the Pakistan growing, and there's some Moroccan fields. And well, we had long discussions with the growers here, and basically up north, of course, they all say, yeah, the Pakistan is better because it's a little bit stronger, so you can argue about that. Disadvantage of the Pakistan is that it has to grow 3-4 weeks longer. But at the same time, they have so much work now, they're gonna harvest the Moroccan first, beat up the Moroccan, and then later take care of the Pakistan.
It's a full Moroccan male. It's already giving full pollen.
Yeah.
Powder, and then you see males that are just starting to flower.
Showing it.
Just showing the heads.
You see that a few months, look here.
Years in between.
And this is already in 3-4 weeks, maximum end of July they harvest here. Think about if this crop was not here.
Yeah, sure.
This would be completely abandoned, man.
Yeah.
All those people would move to the big cities and bigger
work in
mess.
factories for $5 a
Yes,
day.
and go all to North Europe, you know.
Yeah.
They escape poverty like the rest of Africa. Because it's too dry to do a normal vegetable crop.
Yeah. They use the sprinklers there for irrigation, which is not ideal in the conditions because the air is so hot and it's quite a shock for the plants. Not only that, but when they have resin on, the rain drops literally wash off part of the resin. So not the best system, but it's such an extension of land that that's what they do basically. Irrigation, real irrigation, man.
Yeah, you see the whole springs in the fields, huh? This
Yeah.
comes down from the well.
These guys are so organized.
Look how good the parky plants are doing it around the well.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
They love the water, the big leaves.
We also were looking for a special deformation, a special genetic problem that is common in this area, Morocco, which is a flat stem plant. It's a particular deformation of the main stem of the plant that gets completely flat and it doesn't shoot any more branches. It shoots leaves directly from the stem. Very, very typical here, very diffused. We've seen it in other parts of the world as well, but we have to say that here it's actually pretty common.
In the evening, we went back to our base camp where we were invited by the family to sleep, a very big family with a lot of land.
And we had very nice tea in the house. Beautiful Arab-style houses built literally in the middle of the plantation, of the cannabis plantation.
There we had a very nice experience because the people showed us the old traditional way of making the hashish there.
And it was very incredible. Personally, to see this laboratory, this really rough laboratory, where so much hash is rolled and rubbed and produced.
Sembrano quasi tartufi, This is soil sample.
Made ready for transport in different sizes and different ways. We had access to the table where they sit and they physically prepare the balls that are then swallowed by people that transport the hash to Europe.
See? Look, same
This
stuff.
one, if you take a little piece, you take this little piece and you work it in your hand. And you work it and you work it and you work it and you work it, and after 10 minutes you work it, it's gonna be dark.
Get this. So you press all the oil out, it gets dark.
Yeah.
We were allowed to film things that have never been filmed before, so it's very, very interesting in that way. All techniques of the way they make hashish.
Basically, the most exciting part of visiting this farm was entering the room where actually the hash is prepared.
We're like 20 guys who were working, and they told us, yeah, you can film here, just the guys have to go, but that's of course very logic. And Frank and I started to beat up the hash. They told us how to do it. That was a very nice experience. And then also you can really see that how hard it for the farmer is to grow the marijuana in this area and then to get the whole end product, because basically from planting to end product is nearly 8 months of stress and a lot of work and hard work. These are poor farmers working very, very hard to get their hash together. So beating, 20 minutes.
The hashish, man. The fucking factory. I don't think It's haven't been made like we did it. I never seen before footage so direct of this kind of procedures.
And then in here, it's the sieve, and then it goes down here. Goes down here, and then this is the result.
And that we beat.
And that is what we beat with the hard things.
And before pressing. 2 kilos or 2.5 kilos bags, depending. La differenza di materiali?
È tutto scritto, la storia di questo fumo è tutta scritta qui.
So what's the difference in price in the end of the year and the beginning of the year?
€1,000 difference per kilo. Also, the beating of in this time of the year is done on commission. They don't beat and then wait for selling. They beat what is asked them, what people ask them to beat. If someone comes and says, I want 100 kilos, they beat in 100 kilos. The trip from the first location down to the second location where we filmed was very nice. It was a mountain ride through beautiful valleys and peaks of the reef. And we reached the city of Ketama, going through 2,000 meters high mountains and then descending in the valley along the river.
For us, it's very interesting to see, as a strain hunter, the change of what's happening in some countries.
The genetics change. As you reach Ketama, they change. The Moroccan is more visible. You see less and less and less Pakistani crosses. That is a flat plant.
It even gets like this, I don't know what it is.
It's incredible, that.
Look what it gets on the side.
No branch. Only leaf coming from the stem, no branches.
No branches, one.
It's incredible. The crown. Check out the crown on top. It's ridiculous. Doesn't even look like a weed plant anymore. Beautiful. Beautiful. And finally we reached the location for our second shooting, the beautiful farm of our friend Abdullah. He lives there with his family, wife, daughters, kids. He has a 105 years old father still alive in the hospital. Unfortunately, we couldn't meet him. But he is a real old school, old-fashioned Moroccan hash producer, and he has beautiful plantations, 10 to 15 hectares planted this year on a 25 hectares property, all going down on the side of the hill, but starting right there, directly from that house. Just you walk out of the house and the field is right there. It's just so beautiful.
Does he see a difference in quality between the high plants and the little lower plants?
Les meilleures qualités, c'est les petits, c'est mieux.
Comme ça. The more they go high and they make branches and long buds, the less good quality
Okay,
hash.
so it's a plant of 1 meter 30, 1
Yeah.
meter 40,
Yeah.
that's the really
this
good plant.
size, that shape of bud. All wet, huh, man? Full irrigation. That field in particular out of the house had an irrigation system, which is on the ground. Little gota they call it here. It's a drip system. And it's a very basic drip system. It's just plastic pipes, soft plastic, and they fill up with pressure, and then there's just little holes pierced through, and it drips through the ground. Very effective in its case. The plants were 1 to 1.5 meter high, flowering already because the Moroccan genetics flowers fast. Donc la qualité ne change pas entre l'irrigation et le...
Oui.
C'est seulement la quantité,
Oui.
une question de quantité.
même
Yeah,
chose.
he says quality doesn't really change between the irrigated fields and the non-irrigated.
And what
It's
about
quantity.
what about the nutrients? We see a lot of them giving urea, get really green, you know, a lot of nitrogen in. What do you think about that in this area?
So he's putting nitrogen and he's putting phosphorus through.
Okay.
The little powder one,
Yeah.
the one that dissolves once the water kicks in. And he's putting 100 kilos per hectare of fertilizer.
In the whole crop?
Yeah.
Un camion en charge de camion pour les déchets des animaux.
Oui, and also 1 truckload of cow shit.
And how long this has to go here?
Combien de temps encore ici avant de couper?
Ça peut être 2 mois comme ça.
Look how sticky already.
Yeah, it's quite full of resin around. This one too.
Let's go make this.
Yeah, let's make some oil, hein?
Let's go make the oil in the house.
On va faire un peu d'huile, hein, Abdallah?
Oui.
Fantastique. On y va.
Le bois est meilleur de hashish parce que le déchet de hashish est fait sortir. Et il reste seulement le bois.
It's a distillation process, so you eliminate the residue and you keep only the good.
Okay.
It's like extraction.
And they call it oil or they call it oil?
C'est très liquide le résultat ou c'est très liquide, c'est comme ça ou c'est
Non, comme le chocolat.
It's like hot chocolate. With good quality hash, you can let it sink for 3-4 hours, it's enough. With bad quality hash, it has to sink for 1 full day. Abdallah also showed us a very basic but very effective technique to make what he calls l'huile, the oil. Basically, we used 120 grams of really good Pakistani quality hash, dissolved it into a solution of alcohol. Evaporates the alcohol using an au bain-marie technique, very basic.
And in the end, you have this nice paste that is roughly 30% of the really, really good product. But it was nice to meet Abdallah. Also, he told us a lot about the future. We know that European communities spend a lot of money getting rid of the marijuana in this country. They have cleared out 2 provinces. There are another 2 to go. According to Abdallah, the next 2-3 years they're going to do the area around Chefchaouen all the way to Katama. We hope that's not going to happen because the side effects of that are already visible. We have a 30% increase of cocaine use in Europe because some people are getting out of a job here in Morocco. Then the whole Rift Mountain will be without work. So probably all the immigrants are going to come up to North Europe. I don't know if we are waiting for that problem. That's going to cost us another few billion.
On fait comme ça. Tu laisses un peu. Tu prends ça.
Oui.
Et tu fais comme ça.
Oui.
S'il est bonne qualité,
Oui.
il n'y a rien.
Ok.
S'il n'est pas bonne qualité, tu gardes un peu de pièces.
Oui. If it's good quality, nothing stays on your finger after you take that little tip of hash off and you rub. Nothing. If it's bad quality hash, you will always have a little black stone residue feeling on your finger.
Pour la puissance.
La
Ce
puissance.
n'est pas les produits.
No, oui. This is not to judge the
Parce que
taste
il y
in
a les
any way,
produits.
only to see if it's good quality, powerful hash, or if it contains
Parce
crap
qu'il y a
residue.
de hashish qu'il y a les produits chimiques.
Oui, oui.
Les produits
Oui.
chimiques ont été
And also to see if it's been
beurre.
cut with chemicals. Et pour juger la qualité du goût,
avec l'odeur, je le connais.
he says, I know the smell of this hash of this region very good. No problem. After refreshing in a hot day at the Wad, at the local river there by Abdullah, he took us to see these beautiful fields.
The funny part of the plans was that we thought we were really in complete Moroccan area because we had a long discussion in the night with Abdullah, and he said, no, we are not happy with the north because they're growing these Pakistan plants and we don't want them here. And the first thing I see when I approach the river mouth is the border of a big Pakistan field and next to the big Moroccan field.
The beautiful, beautiful Paki. Full drought, not one sign of flowering, still not even thinking of changing the number of leaflets. Very steady internode, pumping up in the sky. Crown, no doubt, this plant is not thinking about flowering yet.
Unfortunately, they think that pollen only travels a few hundred meters. We know it can go up to 100 and 200 kilometers, maybe even to 300 kilometers. So their genetics will be mixed.
Moroccan plant, full flowering, resin, 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away from cut, dry and beat. No buds really, just a lot of resin, very open, very fluffy, ideal for screen beating. The kiff is a very light form of marijuana, basically, that they smoke in Morocco. It's just the leftovers of the beating of the hash that are grinded very fine into a powder and then already pre-mixed with rough tobacco. And this very fine powder is smoked in long pipes or in nargiles, depends, water pipes. And it's mostly the older people that like to smoke the kiff in Morocco. It's very mild. The THC content of the material they use to make it is between 8 and 12%, I would say, so it's definitely not the strongest weed to smoke, but a very mild sensation, very nice for the morning, or just to have a different feeling than the regular hash that you can smoke here. The car performed amazingly during the trip. We took the car off-road a little bit to go up the Tidigin, and the road was really bad at some points. It was not possible for us to film in that area because it was quite dangerous. We couldn't really stop and take our cameras out.
One of the disadvantages of Morocco is it's 40-45 degrees Celsius. It's really, really hot. Infrastructure is really, really bad. You can think it's bad in the jungle in the Amazon or it's in India, but some situations here are not so really, really good, besides that you have all the tension of the police and other problems. On one of our last days in the mission, we decided to come up to the roof of the Rift mountain area.
It was very beautiful to walk up the mountain of Tirigin. It's a 2,400 meters high mountain in the middle of the reef. And we mounted the camp, we put up the tents and prepared the fire, and yeah, really great moment to be so high in the middle of nowhere in the reef, in the mountains, with the view over the plantations down in the valleys and the sun going down over these endless ranges of mountains around you in all directions. It's like something so magic.
Donne la lumière le travailleur باش بنادم عاد نطيبوا الكامله ونقصروا.
Oh man, the dry room.
The dry rooms.
The dry rooms.
Look at the wind coming through here.
Yeah. Fresh.
Look, it's all moving on.
Yeah. Man, many different types of body here all together. In one pile you find 20 fins, really.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, we're back after 10 weeks for the second part of our exciting Strain Hunters Morocco expedition.
And
now we're gonna...
Finally there's some bud.
There's some bud. We're gonna screen it all and then press it.
And we're gonna see the all step-by-step from plant to brick.
We were here in June, July. At that time they were already start cutting down the Moroccan plants. The Moroccan plants, they cure them for 2-3 months in nice garages before they start beating them. The Pakistani plants, they're going to be harvested from half July and is going on until October. A stronger quality, a different plant, but a different taste. And in the meantime, from 2001 to 2004, when the seeds came, they all have been inbred with the local Moroccan stuff. So you don't have any pure Moroccan anymore, you don't have any pure Pakistan anymore, you're getting all different kinds of degrades. And for us, it's perfect, because look, this is the result now. And for the farmers, every time, every week, they can harvest a few plants that are ripe, and a few weeks later, because of these inbred lines.
Absolutely,
so,
in the same hectare.
In the same hectare, they have 20 phenos now. And this is the result of all the different little valleys around us, what you can see here. And look the difference in color and in smell and in everything. It's incredible.
So
right?
it's a genetic related difference and a screen related difference as well.
Yeah. Here is some of the bigger valleys around. Here is the red one, Frank. You saw the red one?
Yeah, this is pretty amazing. It's very dry, eh? Very sandy.
It's a red color. It looks really the same color as some soil around here. Yeah. And here, for example, you see the beautiful green one.
Yeah.
But look how this looks. Look inside.
Ooh, smells
oh yeah.
Look at the color.
Oh yeah. Whew. Also sandy, but very different.
And then for us, the most special one.
Yeah, there comes the cream.
Is
look at this. Damn. This is butter.
Look at this.
This is like sticky stuff. Creamy already.
Check, you stick it right back together.
Yeah, you can make your ball like this. Just.
Check. This is the pure pollen. And here we can see the hybrid of the Pakistan plant and the Moroccan plant, eh? Very nice stuff.
Very nice.
It was very, very interesting to see the difference between Morocco and India. You can see in India that people still try to hide the ganja. They still go right up into the tops of the mountains to grow, but in Morocco there's nothing like it. It starts right at the road. There's no attempt to hide it. You can see that people really feel that they're not doing anything illegal. They must have been growing this plant for thousands of years, and they feel that they're doing nothing wrong or nothing immoral.
Rabat in the museum is a paper that stated that the great king before, King Mohammed V, now made a deal with the Berbers here in the mountains that they could grow marijuana forever. We see if that deal will come true. The reason is that the north part of Morocco, the Moroccans were beaten by the French army, but when they came up to the mountains, of course, the mountain people beat the French army, and that was part of the liberation of Morocco. And in favor of that, helping the king, they granted them the license to grow in eternity these plants here. So let's hope the blonde pollen will keep coming up north and we will have this great traditional smoke of Morocco.